In this video, I will be doing a review and a quick summary about YouTube Secrets by Cannel and Benji Travis. And this is the updated second edition, so in this video, I will also be comparing it with the first edition. And I want to say first right off the bat, just overall, this was an excellent book, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who is serious about growing a following and an influence on YouTube, whether you are a business owner, a parent, whether you're trying to raise money for a nonprofit, or you're doing YouTube as a hobby. This book will get you started, and it's really good for you as well if you are already established on YouTube. It'll help you to come up with more money-making strategies, and yeah, it'll just help you to grow your following even bigger. And I want to say as well that there was one element that I thought was missing from this book. I'll share my opinion about that towards the end, but before I really delve in, I want to say as well that I am offering my course for $97, and for a limited time that comes with a free session with me. So it's all about how you can set up your YouTube channel for profit within just 30 days. Now let's get back into the book. I want to say as well first off the bat that Sean and Benji are both givers. They wrote this book and they didn't hold anything back. They just poured out all of this information, and comparing it to the first edition, they updated everything. So all the stuff that was outdated, they replaced that with the new information, because it's inevitable with YouTube that's going to continue to change and evolve. So they put in new case studies, new examples. They included all of the new features of YouTube in chapter 15, which is towards the end of the book. Like all of these new features that weren't really around and popular when the first edition came out. And yeah, overall, this book just opened my mind to the opportunities on YouTube. And I'm not over exaggerating when I say this, but now is the perfect time to get started and build community, impact people, and make incredible income while doing this. And some of you guys may be thinking, well, right now we're in a recession and there's all this inflation and there's all these changes in the job markets. Sean and Benji did a good job at addressing all of this. Like, it's very updated, especially for today in 2022, and it really talks about how today online video is skyrocketing. Even like online shopping is increasing. So it just really shows that you are in the right place. And what they really cover as well, like, it's not just about the strategies, but it's also for your mindset. So if you're somebody who is like discouraged, or you're burnt out, you're just like really overwhelmed with the platform, they really get you to believe that you can do it, and how everybody starts from zero, so you're not alone and you can break through if you have the right mindset and the right strategies. Like even Sean and Benji, like they share their stories in the book, and it just shows that them too, like they were just regular people and they had a passion for something and they wanted to consistently deliver that to the world. And by doing that, they built an audience, they built all these income streams, and now they're just openly sharing all this knowledge in this book. And they say how the successful people on YouTube, like they weren't just lucky, they were just average everyday folks who actually cared about something, and so they developed their knowledge and their skills in that area, and that's why they were able to succeed. So comparing these two books, there is a part 1 and a part 2, and I will say that part 1 was similar within both of the books. Both of them talk about the 7 C's that you need to actually succeed on YouTube, and just to list those really quickly, it's courage, clarity, channel building, content, community, cash, and consistency. Those are really the 7 things that you need to succeed on YouTube. Another thing I liked about the book is that they just gave really good metaphors, and these metaphors really helped to change the way that you actually think about YouTube. So I'll give you an example. Benji, he actually started his channel about cooking. So the way he thinks about YouTube is that he compares YouTube videos to cooking, and how you want to have the right ingredients. And even some of the best cooks, even if they cooked a dish like 100 times, sometimes they could still mess up. Like maybe they forget like a little ingredient or they overcook it. The same thing can happen on YouTube. Like, maybe sometimes you forget to have a call to action in your video, for example. You forgot an ingredient. However, the point he makes is that, you don't want to strive for perfection, because even though you forget something, that doesn't mean that, you're not a good YouTuber. It just means that you're human. Now I think of my YouTube videos as having different ingredients. Like, for example, they have like a hook, and then I add in like editing elements, and then, sometimes I'll add in music, and sometimes I'll add in graphics. So you want to think of your YouTube videos the same way. Like, what ingredients do your YouTube videos entail? And the goal, because you want to think of your channel like a restaurant, and again, this is why I love this metaphor. Your goal isn't to just get people to taste your food or just watch one video. Your goal is to get them to become super fans of this restaurant and to keep coming back and to tell their friends about it. And that's ultimately how you grow. So you want to think of your channel that way, and just think of all the different ingredients and all the different elements that you can add into your videos. And that could be part of your personality. Like, maybe you're really funny. That's part of your special sauce, if you'll call it. And that's what's ultimately going to help you stand out in the sea of sameness and attract a true audience. Another thing that I appreciated about the book is their perspective on social media. So in part 1, they said how social media was really essential. So what I mean by this is, repurposing your content for all of these different platforms. However, in part 2, they updated that and said that that's actually the enemy, because it distracts you from making YouTube videos and you spread yourself too thin, and then oftentimes that leads to burnout. You should have focus that's like a laser, not necessarily a flashlight, right? You don't want your focus to be dispersed. Like, you want to focus on one thing. So like one channel specifically, like have one main one, have like a main money making strategy, stick to that, be consistent, and you are bound to succeed. Especially if you are a solopreneur, then I highly recommend this. And this is what I mean by it really depends on your situation. Like, if you have a team that can take that content and optimize it for all the different platforms, that is fantastic. But as a solopreneur, we only have so much energy, only so much hours in the day, so it's better to just focus on one thing. Another big difference between these two books is that the second edition did have a whole new chapter that wasn't included in the first one, and that was all about the new YouTube features. So again, like, how can you optimize shorts, what's the best practices for the community tabs, and then how to use like super chats and super stickers and channel memberships, and how to sell merchandise, like all these different ways that you can make money on YouTube. And this leads into the piece that I thought was really missing from this book, because there were a couple of different places in this book where he talked about money-making strategies. It was in part 1, I believe, under cash, and in chapter 15. Like, he listed out all of these different ways that you can make money, and I thought that was excellent, right? Because, people need to get that inspiration, but I thought that there was a missing link, because right now there's a lot of people who are going onto YouTube to sell their information, because right now we're in the self-education age, so a lot of people need a vehicle like YouTube to sell like their courses and like their coaching program. However, what I found after being a YouTubepreneur for this long is that when you try to sell high ticket on YouTube, the conversion rate is pretty low. So something that I found helpful was actually creating a value ladder of all the different things that I have to offer. So rather than just promoting my coaching program and my higher ticket course, it's good to have like a lead magnet that leads to a tripwire that then leads into the course, and that then leads into the coaching program. Because if you just talk about the higher ticket things, I'm telling you, there is a very low chance of conversion, and I know this because I've tried it for myself. So I think in the book it would have been really helpful to explain the concept behind the value ladder, and also just a general explanation about how to develop the simple systems to actually deliver those offers. So For example, how to create like a simple landing page, or even how to structure a funnel, or, even opening up people's minds to the fact that, collect their email so that you can send them certain email sequences so that you can eventually sell your products and your services. Because when it comes to making real income on YouTube, if you don't want to rely on the YouTube monetization program, it really comes down to linking a business to your channel and having YouTube serve as top of the funnel organic traffic. And I just thought that if Sean would have even had maybe a few pages just explaining the concept of the value ladder and how to actually organize it in the best way and how to actually deliver it, I just think it would have been super helpful. But other than that, this book was excellent. That's the only thing that I thought was missing. So again, I highly recommend this book. You can find it on Amazon and I believe on Sean's website. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna put it down below so that you guys can actually purchase it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about this video down below. And before you leave, be sure to check out that 30-day YouTube builder for only $97, because it does come with a free coaching session with me for a limited time. Thank you for watching until the end of this video, and I'll see you for the next one.